This is a Honda E, and we're on the city course here at Millbrook, and it's like most electric cars, it's ridiculously quiet in here. You do hear a whole lot of the sorts of, creaks and rattles that you kind of expect, and when you come to a stop, it's that eerily quiet. But considering how small this is, which it definitely is, it does feel quite sort of nimble, agile. It's something that I could very easily imagine myself darting around a busy, city or busy city streets. So I think for the purpose that it's clearly designed for, that's pretty decent. The turning circle, as I'm being pointed out, is ridiculously tight. Like, I'm not putting much steering input, and we're almost going full, turn on a dime spec. In fact, here's full steering lock. That's kind of insane, actually. So very nimble, and if we find a touch of a straight, I'll give it a little poke, and we'll see what happens. A little poke. Oh dear. Okay. All right. Let me get around this slalom. The steering is incredibly light. You don't really feel much here, which is probably a good thing in this style of car. Wow, the steering lock is insane. I'm not even full lock, and it's pinning it round. Like, you can properly spin on a dime. This is crazy. In terms of regen braking, at least for this little test drive, it does look like it doesn't do it, at least in this standard drive mode, until you start pressing the brake pedal. It will still engine brake like a normal car, a normal rate, but it doesn't give you that sort of Tesla-esque slamming forward as if you're pressing the brake pedal. Once you do, the feel isn't too bad. If I just gently, this is all regen braking, and it's pretty stiff. If, however, you press the button in the console, you then get the one pedal driving mode, and wow, the braking is still pretty stiff with this. With the one pedal driving mode enabled, the regen braking is remarkably heavy. It is actually pretty decent in terms of it does come to a full and complete stop. So if you are in stop-start traffic, you won't be worried about having to actually put your foot on the brake, which is quite nice. One thing I would add with the one pedal driving is with that one pedal off, it does creep forward when you lift off the brake, whereas in one pedal mode, you do have to put your foot on the accelerator to start moving off. It really, I know that most EVs do this, but you really do get sort of pinned back into your chair when you push on the accelerator. It is definitely a fun car to be driving. This is a very easy car to drive around. I think if you had this in the city, you would have a lot of fun driving this while still being relatively comfortable and relaxed. There is one quirk that you just can't get over while you are driving this car, and that's the wing mirrors. These are the camera wing mirrors. These are the ones with the tiny little bead camera off to the side, which does make it narrower, easier to park, and easier to navigate around tight city streets. But it is weird to not look out the window. They are in a very similar place. You do get used to them. However, I'm also not using them in any level of adverse conditions, so this might be a lighter test than you might see in perhaps a full review, but it's definitely something you need to get used to, although I'm not too mad about it. Boot space is definitely limited here. You can see we have our two relatively small camera bags, and that's all you can fit in. This is definitely the sort of car you nip to the shops in rather than fill the boot up, because you would be filling the boot quite quickly. Rear legroom is pretty decent considering the size of the car, although larger front seat passengers will limit your rear legroom ability. As for the front of the cabin, it's a very nice place to be. It's definitely a premium feel. All the materials and build quality feel great. You even have the wood trim surrounding the center console and on the dashboard, which also surrounds the limitless numbers of displays, both from your instrument cluster and your multiple infotainment displays, as well as the side view mirrors. The Honda E is an incredibly premium car, both in its price and in its build quality, and I suppose handling as well. Being rear-wheel drive, it's rather fun. This has been a first drive, sort of first look at it from the SMMT test day. If you want to see more videos from this day, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell notification icon, and check out the videos on the end cards as well. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, feel free to leave those in the comments down below. We'll see you on the next video.